Hello, hi, back at it again, another video, another day. It's me, it's Will. Hi, good to see you. Back at it with another video. If you've never seen me, I'm Will. I'm from the UK. I try and explore things that I find kind of interesting. And tickle my pickle, you might say. Are interesting, I guess, as topics to explore, ideas to think about, stuff in my head, stuff that's going on. So today I'm throwing down this question, as I often do, and that question is, why be honest? Cool. So for me, this question, why be honest, I guess comes from a place of like historic challenges I found that come up when I'm honest. So I think this might be a me thing specifically, but when somebody asks me to be honest, I'm like honest, like no filter, everything in my head, honest. And I think when a lot of people ask for honesty, they don't want that much honesty. So I guess this kind of question of why be honest kind of maybe comes from a place of resentment, I guess, because I feel like historically I've been honest in certain jobs, in kind of where I've been in life, because my brain works a bit differently. I'm dyslexic, and sometimes I get my wires crossed, sometimes I misunderstand things, sometimes I say silly things, and this leads to challenging situations because, like, for instance, I was a writer. I was writing articles for a marketing company for a few years. I was really struggling because I'm dyslexic. I had a really good wind. I was writing a lot of articles, but it's really cognitively demanding for me because I learn and process things a bit differently due to my dyslexia. But I can still read screens fine. I'm quite competent on computers, so I'm writing my articles, blah blah blah, and I get, I find I'm getting burnt out because I'm just chasing numbers every day, doing a bit, writing the same stuff, or feeling really uninspired, really burnt out from just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and it's just wearing me really thin, right? And I'm just melting away internally when I look at the platform that they built in the company that is where we write the articles and edit pages and put anchor text in and stuff like that. And this wouldn't be a job now probably due to AI, but back when I did it, it was hard for me, and I find that I really enjoy writing. I journal every day, but I still find it hard to not make weird errors, not make mistakes. My brain kind of just fires things in a different way, and I think I just try and push through that a lot, and I think that leads to me making a lot of mistakes and then feeling doubtful about my intelligence and my ability, and then it makes me think, why be honest? Because I feel often when I share things honestly, I guess people get the wrong idea, and it doesn't lead to outcomes I necessarily want. I had a counselling interview where, because I'm trained to be a mental health counsellor, and I said that I have mental health challenges, right? Historically, I've been fine for a decade plus, but I've had suicide attempts. Probably a decade and a half now. 15 years since I made an attempt. But historically, I've had suicide attempts. I've I've made those attempts because I was in a really bad place, and because of the counselling I had and the support I had, it led to me not doing that, which I'm really grateful for, and I'm glad to still be here. But because I disclosed that, I don't know if it was that specifically, but I guess I felt I was vulnerable, and then I was rejected still, right? And that really hurt because I felt I was really honest in that interview about who I am, what I'm about, and how that's relevant to the work, because I can understand different intense emotional states people might be in, because I've been in those emotional states, and now I'm a lot more steady and stable. And I guess I just felt frustrated with the outcome that I couldn't ultimately control, right? Like their reason was that their service wasn't in a position to support me in the way that they felt I should have been supported. Like, I can understand and respect that, but like, I still feel, I guess, disappointed that it didn't work out. You know, and there's instances where this has happened kind of throughout my life, probably due to my neurodiversity or neurospiciness. And I guess I feel like I go from certain extremes where, like, I'm really, really, really honest, or most of the time I'm like not that honest at all, because I guess I feel my honesty, or whatever type of honesty I have, however I'm delivering it or how it's landing, for other people seems like too much, or seems like that I'm kind of too much. So I just kind of don't share that stuff. You know, I didn't share that stuff in another counselling interview I had, and I got the placement. I was less honest in it, and I guess it really frustrates me because I have this value of honesty, this value of authenticity, and then I experiment with how it like looks out in the world, and when I'm less honest, things go better, and I don't like that, because I just want to be me. I just want to be like who I am, what I'm about. I don't want to be inauthentic. I want to be very authentic, right? But I don't want it to all be about me. I think, you know, I have my journal for that. I meditate daily, and you know, even in the face of like anxious circumstances I can't control, I still want to not lie. I still want to be honest, because like historically I've been pushed into a corner where like I felt like I've been forced to lie, and I felt really disappointed in myself for that. But still, I get this question of like, why be honest, comes up in my head. Sometimes I guess I feel like maybe I consume content that's a bit more negative, a little doomerish on the old internet, on Reddit and YouTube. I used to not really be a Reddit guy, but now I'm reading a lot of Reddit, and I don't think it's good for my mental health. So, a bit frustrated that I'm sucked into the Reddit cesspool. But also YouTube, I guess there's a lot of negative stuff on the algorithm that makes me think, why be honest, right? When I guess I've had a lot of experiences where being honest has like actually facilitated a lot of positive connection in my interpersonal relationships. But it's I guess about putting down the right amount, putting the dash down that people connect with but doesn't overwhelm them. It's the right amount of authenticity, right? Which is kind of hard to calibrate, given if your own state is a little variable. Which I'm human, mine is sometimes, but I feel like I don't like take it out on other people. I might do, but if I'm honest with myself, honesty, yeah, there are variations in my mood, there are variations in my feelings and my behaviors. Sometimes I'm really anxious. Right now I'm kind of anxious because I have a meeting later today. But just meetings, vague meetings make me anxious. But you know, when I enter that meeting, I guess I want to be honest, and I want to lead with my own values, and I want to lead with my own convictions, and I don't want to disappoint future Will, because future Will has to, I guess, live with the decisions that current and past Will has made. And I guess something I'm really thinking about when I think about why be honest, like I'm thinking about like accepting the worst case scenario, right? How can I accept the worst case scenario out of any of these meetings I previously mentioned, right? Being in marketing and going for counselling trainee interviews and having this meeting come up. How can I be honest, put my best foot forward and accept what that might come with? You know, I didn't get that counselling placement, and you know, I'm definitely disappointed about that, but I think ultimately I'm moving forward. Tomorrow comes, and I think why be honest, I think comes up for me when I feel a bit frustrated with my honesty not being accepted everywhere, and that's probably unrealistic in itself, right? There are circumstances where people are going to make judgments, which they should, for their own best interest of their organisation or themselves individually. It doesn't fit with my specific brand of honest. And while I think that does hurt me, and I feel disappointed that things don't line up, and I guess in the way that I imagined and hoped they might, life goes on, and I'll find something else. I've been very adaptable in my life so far. I've done a lot of different jobs, so I'll figure it out. But that's where I'm going to leave this video today. You've been wonderful. I've been Will. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.